I call the honourable member Mike Sabin.
Thank you, sir. We've just heard a very, very good example. While that party is probably never going to be more than a 10%er. Of course, there are 49%er in the mixed ownership model across there, but never more than a 10%er in the views of the New Zealand public. Sir, I just want to firstly commend the Minister for this circuit breaker. This is a very, very complex area. It goes to the heart of the New Zealand psyche in so many ways, because the purchase of a house, sir, is really something, not only probably the biggest investment that Kiwis will make, but something that Kiwis are very passionate about as well. So we've found ourselves in this most difficult position over years, and in probably successive governments, where house prices, land prices have become unaffordable. And what staggers me is the sort of criticism that we hear from the Labour Party, although they're indicating they'll be supporting this bill, but the sort of negative, beatings will continue until morale improves sort of approach that they've become so expert at, which really can be summed up in the whole flavour of the budget speech. Today, there has been no greater contrast, I think, sir, in the two leaders in this political theatre than what we saw from John Key and what we saw from David Shearer, sir. What we saw from David Shearer was a plethora of negativities, which we've become used to, sir, but scattered in amongst it was only the slightest shred of an alternate way forward for the country. And that alternate way forward, of course, is about capital gains tax and about North Koreaising the New Zealand power supply. Well, I'm not sure that that's going to move the hearts and minds of New Zealanders, sir. This housing accord, this first housing accord, is about setting a target of 39,000 consents within 3 years, sir. It allows for greenfields developments in 6 months, not 3 years, brownfields in 3 months, not 1 year. And it really does, when we talk about the barriers and the roadblocks, if I can use that phrase, so this is about council and government doing what Kiwis, in particular what Aucklanders need of them. Sir, I just once again want to say that this is a minister who identifies a problem, gets on and applies a solution to it. Sir, this is something that should be supported across the House. I commend this bill.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will please say aye. Aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. Party vote's been called for. Clerk, will you please conduct a party vote? Thank you.
New Zealand National.
59 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
33 votes in favour.
Green Party.
14 votes opposed.
New Zealand First.
7 votes in favour.
Maori Party.
2 votes in favour.
Mana.
1 vote opposed.
Act New Zealand.
One in favour.
United Future.
1 in favour.
Brendan Horan.
1 in favour.
Any other votes?
Order. Order. Can I just remind members that when a vote has been taken, it's been taken in silence. It can actually be seen as intimidation on someone else and can actually lead to a breach of privilege. I just caution members about that. Thank you. Honourable members, the ayes are 104, the noes are 15. The motion is agreed to.
And Special Housing Areas Bill, first reading.
Honourable members, the question before the House now is that the Housing Accords and Special Housing Areas Bill be considered by the Social Services Committee. Those of that opinion will please say aye. Aye. And to the contrary... Sorry? No, next one. Next one. Those of that opinion will please say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it.
Speaker.
I call the Honourable Minister Dr. Nick Smith.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the Housing